Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Wednesday, June 25th. It is 6:22 right now. We got market opening up in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and send out the link real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. All right, looks good. I haven't marked up liquidity here yet, so I'm going to start doing that right now. The volatility is extremely low today, guys. So let's make sure to keep that in mind. All right, go down to the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour, down to the 1 hour, down to the 30 minute, down to the 10 minute, and down to the 1 minute here. All right, looks good. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. I just marked up liquidity over here. Volatility is extremely low, guys. So looking at volatility right now, we're currently at 6 ATR. So this is pretty low for I mean, this is pretty low just in general. I was looking at the market over Asia session. The ATR was like at 2. So it's pretty crazy how slow the market has been moving. Like if you look over here, it looks like the market was closed, which is kind of crazy. So I don't know what's up with this, but we'll see what's going on when market opens up here shortly. But yeah, the market is extremely slow right now. I do have liquidity here marked up, but you can see there's a lot of choppiness with regard to where liquidity is sitting because there hasn't been too much movement. So again, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, June 25th. It is 6:25 right now. We got market opening up in about 5 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. If you guys pulled up my spreadsheet for the day, so let me pull this over here real quick. Yeah, if you guys pulled up my spreadsheet for the day right here, we have the key levels. Overnight resistance is going to be at 43,468. Looking at that right here, I mean, like I said, the volatility is just really low, so you're not going to see too much. So what I'm probably going to have to do here to show you guys these levels is go on a higher time frame. So right here on the 15-minute time frame, you guys can see how choppy market is right here, right? It's not really too much going on. Price has been in this consolidation zone since yesterday afternoon. So market closed right here yesterday. It was pretty volatile, and then it just got super, super flat right here for the entire day. So from yesterday, or basically Asia session up until today, there hasn't been too much movement. Our key levels over here, we have a key support where price is currently sitting right now. This is where the VWAP and volume point of control is at. Below right here is the blowback low. This is the near-term support and scalping defense zone. So if price comes here, look for a possible bounce. And looking up here, this is where the current minor resistance is. So you can't really see this on the 1 minute. I had to go all the way up to the 5 minute to show you guys, those current levels. Here's or 15 minute. This is now the 5 minute here. You can kind of see the levels a little bit, but hopefully the volatility picks up a little bit more once market opens up so you can see them a lot more clear. We're back here on the 1 minute. The only level you can see here right now is going to be the key support level and the Globex slowdown here. However, we do have resistance sitting up here a little bit higher. So if I was to look for some sweeps here, I'd probably look for some sweeps around this lower area right here, and then possibly some sweeps from this area up here. Again, I can't emphasize how much the volatility is so slow right now. Uh, it's going to be tough to like really gauge where entry should be happening at, but I'm going to be looking for possible entries around here, of course, for sweeps. But I'm probably going to let the market move a little bit before I actually take any sweeps here, because you guys can see the ATR is currently at 6. This is probably the lowest ATR I've probably ever seen. Realistically, I haven't seen the ATR this slow during a regular market. This is how the market looks like during a holiday, right? Typically. So just be really cautious, guys, with your opportunities for entry. Powell's going to be speaking today, so I'm assuming that's what a lot of people are waiting for. They're just waiting for Powell's second part testimony. For the news events for today, we do have new home sales at 7 o'clock, and then we have Powell speaking at 7 as well. And then we have gas stock change at 7:30, which isn't supposed to be very high impact at all. So we'll see. Market's going to open up in about 2 minutes. We'll see if some volatility actually kicks into the market. If it doesn't, I'd just say just be very cautious today, guys, with your entries. Hey, Sam, morning. All right, looks like majority of you guys are here so far, guys. Again, if you guys are just joining in, I've marked up the levels over here for liquidity. I've marked up the support and resistance levels. If you guys did not pull up my daily outlook for the day, you guys can get this from Discord. It's posted under announcements. It's posted under announcements, team chat, and daily outlooks down below under the market outlook channel. So if you guys want that, feel free to grab it. Got all my levels marked up here. Here's the key biases for today. Key biases are neutral to bullish. Market remains in a digestion phase after Monday's risk-on rally. Powell Senate testimony introduces event risk, which is going to be talking about, the possible interest rate cuts. Right now, he said we're pretty much going to be sitting and waiting to see how the tariffs affect the market, and then he'll decide on rate cuts from there. Market's going to open up shortly, guys, in about 5 seconds. If you guys are looking to take the breakout for today is going to be a buy. So if you guys are looking to take that breakout, we will follow it and we'll kind of see where it ends up going from here. So market is now open, guys. The volatility again is starting to pick up. Like I said earlier, the volatility was extremely low earlier, and now it is starting to pick up here. So we'll see what happens here shortly. Looks like we had a sweep right here. So price came down a little bit and swept right back up. If you guys are looking to take a sweep, my ideal sweep locations are going to be down here, near the Globex low. So one of these levels down here could be a possible sweep level if anybody's looking to take that. You guys can see the volatility here is not very high. It's still pretty low. Price is pushed around about maybe 20 points. ATR right now is still currently at 10. So just be cautious with your guys' entries if you guys are looking to take anything. Like I said, I'm going to wait a little bit for, some actual movement here, because this is the lowest I've seen ATR in like ever, really. I haven't really seen the ATR this low. We've seen it pretty low during the summer, but like it's like around 15. It's around 20 to 15. Looks like a sweep might be happening right here, guys. Let's see. I didn't get into the sweep right now because like I said, I want to wait for the market here to kind of stabilize a little bit and move around. Looks like that lower sweep is starting to get filled down there below. Let's see, price is kind of dumping a little bit here. I was going to try to get into the sweep, but I think it might be a little too late. Let's see if I get in right here.
Order submitted.
All right, so I got in for the sweep right there, guys. It's now pushing up as we speak. It's up about 11 points.
Order filled.
There goes, price pushes up. Still in the position right there, currently at 600 profit. About to get to my 30 right there. All right, mount. Full TP 30. I think this one pulling out. I'm gonna have to manually close out of this one. For some reason, this one's still stuck in it. All right, I'm gonna manually close out of this one. All right, I had a flatten all, guys. That thing was so weird. Let me see over here real quick. Yeah, I don't know what happened with my accounts here, but like some of them full TP, like one account full TP, the rest of them were like stuck in the position. So I got into the sweep right there, guys, got out for 30 points. You guys can see my entry and exit right here.
Order filled.
Order filled right there. So I got in and out right there. My entry was right here. You can see where my sweep entry was, and then my exit was right here. You guys can see the dots, right? Or the arrows actually, if I zoom in a little bit. I don't know what happened with that position, but I got profit on all my accounts. They weren't like a lot, but they were they were running. So anyways, here's my entry right here. You guys can see the blue arrow for my entry, and then my exit was right here, right at the 30 points. Market's kind of weird today. But that sweep was perfect. So sweep played out perfect. It did exactly what I was looking for. So like I said earlier, guys, if you guys got in early enough, I mentioned if I was going to take a sweep, it would happen from down here because this is where the Globex low was. So I got in exactly at the near the Globex low where my support was sitting. Had my liquidity lines right there, so that's where I got in from. And then I got out right here at 30 points. But for whatever reason, it kind of got stuck. So I was only able to exit out of the positions on this is like so weird. I'm looking at my thing right now. Hmm. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm like and price push right through it. So what I'm looking at right now on my never mind. Okay, I was a little confused because my my columns are all over the place. I forgot I had to reset my whole NinjaTrader and reinstall. I was like wondering why my numbers were all like weird, but it's because I don't have my weekly on there. I'll have to fix that in a few. Anyways, if you guys are looking for some more entries here, let me clean this up. The next opportunity for entry would probably be a sweep up here. But like I said earlier, I'm trying to look for buys here. So I'll look for another liquidity zone to kind of establish around, these support and resistance levels. My daily outlook for today is neutral to bullish. I mean, market over here is still kind of like going sideways, but volatility is still pretty low. It's currently at 16. I was surprised I was able to get those 30 points right there. Um, Yeah, I was just a little surprised to get those 30 points there because of the low ATR, but price did end up pushing up eventually. It's still kind of just bouncing back and forth within this middle area. So only one entry for today so far, guys, which was the sweep down below. Um, yeah, nothing else has came up yet. Did you get into that one too, Sam? It was really fast. I had to get into that position right there through market. I couldn't even set up a pending order. But the sweep was exactly what we expected. Price came down to the support level, swept that area. It actually swept the sessions below, and then ended up shooting right back up to basically opening price. I'm gonna try to fix my columns here while we have some downtime. Okay, I think this is right now. Let's see, properties, columns, There you go, weekly P&L. There's no entries right now, guys, so just sit tight. All right. All right, so I'm gonna be looking for another opportunity for entry here, guys. There's nothing here right now. We're looking for a possible sell signal to come up, but there's just nothing here at the moment. So I'll just show you guys my profits for that specific trade. Not a lot of profits here, but I'll show you guys it only closed basically full TP on my main account. Everything else, for some reason, it was like partial, but it's okay. Yeah, it's an unusual market with the extremely low volatility. ATR is currently at 16 right now. Typically, like during this time, we'd be at like maybe closer to 30 ATR. But again, on market open, we were at like 6 ATR, which is extremely low. Here, let me take a screenshot of this real quick. I think I have to take an actual screenshot because you won't see the actual entry points. Or I could just do it from here, actually. Man, the market's a mess today. All right, I'm just gonna take an actual screenshot of this so that you guys can see yeah, you can see the setup right there. All right, so let's put this over here under the official profits for the day. Sweep for 30 points. All right, we got price dropping a little lower. Let's see if there's any other sweep areas down here. So it's going to be pretty far down until we get the next level. So the next level right here is going to be pretty, clean that up. Next level right here is going to be pretty far down. Like you can't even see how close it is. It's going 15-minute. So the next support level is way down here, guys. I don't think we're going to get another sweep here for a buy anytime soon because this is pretty far below. It's about 300 points, which I'm not expecting price to drop 300 points in the near future. But we'll see. I mean, there's no telling what this market will give us. But anyways, here are my profits for that last trade, guys. Unfortunately, it was like super partial, but it is what it is. Where are my screenshot savings here? Today's the 25th. Hmm. Very trying to figure out where my man, ever since my laptop updated, I don't know where anything is anymore. Okay, I see it. They put in their pictures now. All right, there we go. So here are my profits for that last trade I just took, guys. You guys will see the slippage on it. So you can see my main account over here. I locked in 721. I was supposed to lock in about 900, but because of the slippage and like the issues with the execution, it only gave me 721 on this one. And then on my other accounts, you can see they were kind of split up. Some of them made 251, some of them made 221, some of them made 161, some of them made 191. They were like kind of all over the place. So yeah, these are all my accounts right here, and they're all kind of scattered. I'll do the totals a little later with my Trader Sync if I have time, but those are my profits from this sweep right here. In general, it just seems like a pretty unusual day overall. I mean, just kind of seeing where price here is, where price is currently sitting. Yeah. Barack said busy laughing at Sean wondering where everything is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand PCs that much, guys. I've been using Macs for like the past 8 years, and like I just use a PC to execute my trades. And whenever I get a Windows update, and you guys have seen this happen to me before, this actually happened to me when I was on vacation last time too. Everything kind of gets moved around, and now my screenshots are somewhere else. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever gonna make the full move to a PC because it just seems so confusing. All right, we got price here kind of just sitting around, not too much going on. Sam says FY NQ's at the all-time high. Gotcha. Okay, good to know. Let's take a look over here at my spreadsheet for the day. So possible trade setups. Let's see, fade setup over here from VWAP. So fade moves away from VWAP at 43,420. 43,420. So price was actually never up there. I mean, or price never got to that point, so that fade wouldn't have worked out. Or actually, let's see. 43,375 for longs. I guess we're kind of around that area. For shorts, 43,460. Breakout confirmations, 43,470. Price never reached up there. Pullback entries. Yeah, a lot of these setups, they haven't really set up yet. So if you guys are still looking for those, you can look later. Powell's about to speak in about 15 minutes. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, the ATR is really low right now, right, Sam? It's extremely low. 17 ATR at the moment. You can see our price is kind of just going back and forth. We're still in this chop right now where price is just kind of chopping back and forth. It's technically trying to push down lower, but I mean, realistically, we're just in this chop right now at the moment. Price basically chopping up and down around this area. Let's see if there's any other levels here on the market profile. So looking at the market profile on the 30-minute time frame, you guys can see the consolidation range right here. It's pretty obvious as well. Price is currently below. So the next level down here is going to be the value high from the 23rd. Where's the value high from yesterday? It's weird. Oh no, this is from yesterday. Okay, so let me mark this up real quick. This is the value high at 305, 43,305. Color this red. 43,305. This is going to be the what was it, 624. value high, market profile. That's gonna be the next level, closest to current price right here. Um, I mean, other than that, let's see. We got the value for today is at 395. Color that green. 395, value low, market profile. All right. So we got a couple more levels right here. Just stuff to look at to keep in mind for possible bounce areas. The point of control over here is currently at, let's see, 418. We'll color that black. So I'm just marking up possible bounce areas. Point of control market profile is going to sit near the VWAP right here and the volume area. And we got the value high, which is a little higher right here at 43,440. All right, I'm gonna color that red. That's gonna be a little higher, so we're probably not gonna see that. Value high, market profile. All right, so I marked up the market profile for the day. You guys can see prices pretty much respecting this range right here. It's kind of just ranging right in between this area down the middle. This is a 30-minute time frame, so you're seeing this at scale. Um, we're trading on the 1 minute, but this is a 30-minute. You can see price here has been consolidating since last night. Not really much movement at all. We'll come back and take a look at this in a few, but you guys can see from this point of view, there's still not much going on. Doesn't matter what time frame you're trading on, high time frame, low time frame. It's the ATR and the volume is very low. You can this is crazy. If you look, so we're currently on the 30-minute time frame, right? Look at the ATR for the 30-minute. It's at 37. That's where it should be on the 1 minute or 5 minute or something like that. So that's how you can tell YM is just not moving today. Let's go over here. So there's not really too much going on. We have a possible continuation to the downside, which is completely fine. I mean, there could be a continuation anywhere, really. With this type of market here, I'm kind of glad I locked in that first trade. We talked about this yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday, we had a sweep that happened immediately on open, and it was like such a perfect sweep. But then after that, there wasn't really too much to follow, right? So I'm going to keep marking up these levels here. It's not really too much here to necessarily, like I said, work with, but get what we can get into here. All right, so this has dropped lower. We got a lot of liquidity sitting up here. So here's the thing, if the trend starts to shift the other way, and let's take a look at the overall trend. So looking at the overall trend for the day, it's starting to shift bearish, right? So the 1 minute's currently bearish, prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. Same with the 5 minute here and same with the 10 minute. If that's the case, then that's fine, right? Lower time frames are currently bearish. So we might flip from bullish bias to bearish bias. However, looking here on the higher time frames, the 4 hour is still very bullish. 1 hour is pretty bullish, and the 30 minute here is starting to shift to neutral. So higher time frames over here are kind of shifting up, neutral. And over here on the lower time frames, they're shifting down. So this could be temporary slow, you know, lower time frame slow switch, or this can be a retracement, a hard retracement, and a continuation back to the upside. Looking over here at my data for the day, like I said earlier, the market remains in a digestion phase after Monday's risk-on rally. Price pretty much rallied super hard on Monday, so now price is just correcting back down. All right, let's go back over here on the 30-minute time frame. So if you look over here on Monday, we had this huge rally to the upside, right? So what's happening here? Price is starting to flatten out, and it's starting to correct back down because we had such a big push on Monday. So, we could be shifting back to a bearish bias, or this can be temporary, right? Like I said, so if you mark this up right here, this is Monday morning, right? So basically Monday morning, price went super high. It was just going sideways pre-market and then it shot up. This was the crazy thing because this is when the Iran strikes happened. So we were expecting, market to be kind of bearish, and it basically just manipulated to the upside. It manipulated up. And then now we're flattening out for today. So today price has been pretty much flattening out all day, right? Now that it's flattening out right here, we have to determine what's going to happen next. Is price going to correct back down to where it was on Monday, or is it going to fake out and continue up higher, right? Because this can just kind of push down a little bit, fake out, and then continue right back up higher. So just keep that in mind, guys. Looking at the bigger picture again, these outlooks here are going to help a lot because this is going to give you the bigger picture of like what's happening, not just the daily, but if you look at my weekly over here, see, I already knew market was going to be bearish this week, right? Or like it was going to turn bearish. Because if you look over here, this is the weekly PDF that I send out every Sunday. And basically I said it was going to be neutral to slightly bearish. So like price finally pushed up to like that resistance zone, and then now it's coming back down to bearish. So you put two and two together, you look at the weekly, and then you tie that in with the daily, and then you have a good understanding of like what's happening for the week, right? Because we're already expecting market to be bearish Sunday morning or Sunday evening, and now it's starting to actually show. So yeah, just make sure to take a look at those reports, guys, because those reports are going to help a lot, give you guys a good understanding as to like what your bias should be for the day and what your bias should be for the week. Because I mean, for the day here, like, because price is turning around, it's no surprise because we already saw this happening when this bullish push print came up. So we'll see what happens here, guys. I mean, my bias right now is still going to stick to, somewhat bullish until we have a nice, like, further drop to the bottom. So let's take a look at my weekly chart. Yeah, so here's my weekly chart. You can see here price is pretty high up, right? We started down here, price pushed up. Look how price is above this resistance now. So right here, price actually swept this level right here. This is a year-to-date target, the high target if momentum resumes. So like price reached the target here and now it's coming right back down. So the thing is, if you want to look at this from a bigger picture and you want to sweep all the, off the weekly analysis, the sweep levels would have been up here. And that's exactly where it swept. And now it's coming back down into this range. And if it does correct back down, it's going to pull back into this lower range right here. I have everything here kind of baked in. If you guys look at my charts here, so this is the weekly, this is the monthly, right? The monthly is currently at resistance 2 right now. So I'm doing a full analysis of the market, right? I have my monthly charts here or my monthly outlook marked up here. I got my weekly right here. And then we have our daily right here. So this is all making sense where price is coming down, right? It's making sense because we're currently in the resistance. We're currently in the monthly resistance too. And we're currently pushing back down from the weekly top end resistance, pulling back into this lower range. This was a resistance zone from last week. So I take it off right there. It's respecting the zones perfectly. So if you guys didn't see that video, every Sunday I post up a video explaining the weekly outlook, and I pretty much marked up all these levels here. So this here, this and this level is not really supposed to be here because those were the levels from last week. But I left them up because they're relevant, right? Now that price is kind of rejected off the upper resistance right here, it's probably going to pull right back into this lower level. So if you guys are looking to take entries, I mean, feel free to take entries when you see them. However, right now you can see price is still stuck in this chop. This is why I'm kind of sitting back for right now because price is chopping within this middle area. If I'm going to look for some sell sweeps, I'll be looking for price to push up here to my resistance. So I'll be looking for price to push up a bit higher to my overnight high and then sweep from there. Ideally, I'd like to take some buy sweeps, but there's just no sweep levels down here. All right, let me go and just update the levels real quick. All right, levels are updated. Yeah, there's no support down here. If you want to take like a buy sweep, the support's going to be right here. So if you're looking to take a buy at some point, my buy sweep would happen from way down here. This is about 300 points away. So there's just not really much here to work with, right? We're too far up right now. And here we go, as price pushes right back up. So like I said earlier, I'm sticking to my daily bias here, but I'm also looking at the weekly and the monthly just to have an idea of like where price is currently at. So over here on the weekly outlook, Basically, if price can break above this resistance right here and stay above this area, then I'm expecting us to continue pushing up higher. However, if it doesn't and it stays below this area, then I'm expecting a correction back down, right? That's something to keep in mind, guys. That's something to keep in mind because we're currently at an area right now where price can really shift. And my bias for today is neutral to bullish. We got Powell speaking in about 3 minutes. Hopefully, once Powell speaks, the ATR will pick back up. It looks like it is starting to pick back up. We started off at like 6 ATR. It jumped to about 11, then 16, now 18. We want to keep this ATR closer to 30, right? 30 is going to be the key ATR for us because that's going to be normal market. Right now, we're just kind of slow. We're slow, but this is normal now. So this is normal for summer conditions, but with a high news event today, a high news event type of day with Powell speaking, they should pick back up to like about mid 20s. So no rush. I'm just waiting for markets to give me something to work with here. So we got price pushing past this level of liquidity. So again, when we're looking at liquidity, guys, you guys have to look at liquidity as two different things. It's either price is going to push through it, and that's a liquidity push, or price is going to sweep it, and it's going to be a liquidity sweep, right? There's two different types. Right here, there's no confluences, so ideally what I'd see here would be a liquidity push, right? So if you guys want to just take liquidity by itself, ideally, this is where I'm expecting price to maybe kind of push through. Otherwise, if it's a sweep, then it might sweep off this area and come back down. There's a couple confluences right here, but they're not as close and they're not as clean. So we have the Asia low right here, but there's no resistance around this area, right? My closest resistance is going to be up here. We have the value high market profile on the 30-minute, which is right here. And then we have the overnight high minor resistance session top right here. This overnight high lines up with the Asia high. So there's a lot more confluences up here for a sweep. This is where I would take a sell sweep if I did have that opportunity. All right, we got Powell speaking pretty soon. Let me go over here real quick. I'll look him up again. Let's see if there's. I would have thought that. Okay, right here. They actually got started a little early today. Here we go. So it looks like the cameras are going to be mainly on Powell today. So they're starting on time. We'll come back and take a look at that in a few. You can see like as soon as the speech starts picking up, the volatility here starts picking up as well. So we got price pushing back up higher. Again, we're currently at this liquidity zone. Price is pushing through, like I said, because there's not a lot of confluences here. This is more of a liquidity push. This is why it's always tricky when you want to trade when Powell is speaking, because it's typically going to be bullish, right? So the main things to look at here is going to be whether Powell is going to be dovish or hawkish on the news. Ideally, Powell is known to be dovish with regard to interest rates, right? He wants the ease economy. That's why they call Powell the money printer, right? If you guys see the memes of Powell, he's always printing money because he's usually dovish on economic outlook. So that's why price here is kind of pushing up. A lot of people are kind of just betting that he's going to say good things about the market, hoping that price is going to spike up at some point, which will probably be the key. We had some news over here just passed. I think it was new home sales. So we got new home sales right here. It was negative and positive. It was mixed. We got Powell speaking pretty soon. All right. You got price kind of bouncing right here off the value low. Price is going sideways. Sam said he's staying out of YM at the moment. Yeah, I would too. So like what Sam said, he's going to stay out of YM at the moment. Obviously, I'd stay out for a little bit too until Powell is fully up and running. All right, they've started, guys. So we got Chairman Scott right there. He's doing the introductions. We'll see how the market here reacts to Powell's responses. We're currently at 17 ATR. Again, you guys want to pay attention to the ATR as it picks up. That's how you know volatility is going to start to move, whether price is going up or whether price is going down. It doesn't really matter which direction, but we do want some volatility here. ATR is back to 18. No other entries here right now. There's MPSV2s that are coming up, guys, but they're not MPSV2s I would recommend taking because, like I said, we're in a choppy market. So it's really hard to catch, directional moves, of course. Not any that I would personally recommend. One thing that so here's one thing if you guys are looking for possible entries, like there's an older strategy that we used to look at. It was like the market flow V2. Um, I mean, they've been coming up, guys, or if you want to just wait for the actual closes. So if you guys remember the market flow V2, you'd look for a sell signal, look for that following direction, and then you look for price to retrace up to the pivots and enter. One person has been asking me about that strategy, and what they've been looking for is they've been looking for closes. So like what happens here typically is they would look for like a sell signal. They'd look for retracement back up, and they'd look for a nice quick rejection off the pivots with a red candle, and they would take the entry like this right here. I've been looking at it and it works pretty well. They've been doing it for like small targets like 15.15 or like whatever the ATR is. And there's possible setups there. If you guys have seen that, that's the strategy is very similar to the snipe strategy, market flow V2. It's just combination. It just depends if you want to wait for it or if you want to have it pending order. If you guys remember for the market flow V2, I would usually take them at the whole numbers. So like price would push up and then my pending order would just be hanging out like right here at the 60. And you can see obviously it would fill right there and it'd pretty much go straight to TP. So if you guys want to look back at old strategies, I mean, feel free to look back at them. I'm sticking to what I'm doing now, MPSV2s and sweeps. Um, but yeah, if you guys want to look back at those older strategies, market flows and whatnot, they still work pretty well. It's just you have to kind of adapt with the market. You have to understand when to apply it. It's only been like really consistent over the past couple days because we've been in a trending market, like Monday, Tuesday. But other than that, we're in the summer, so those market flow V2s aren't going to be as useful. The heck? My whole NinjaTrader just shut down right now. It's weird. I'm really starting to hate these PCs, guys. I got like some critical error, and then it just shut down my entire NinjaTrader. All right, well, that was weird. They've got to port over NinjaTrader to Mac, guys. It's like I've had this Mac, like the Mac that I'm live streaming on and I'm doing everything else on. I've had this Mac for for like almost, yeah, for about 8 years now, ever since I started going live with you guys. And I haven't had one problem with my Mac. With these PCs though, I feel like you got to update your PC almost like every year. And this is a high-end PC too. It's a high-end gaming laptop just for trading. All right, I just reopened my Ninja. I really hate PCs, but I need a PC for for Ninja. All right, it's fine. I got it fixed up. I just had to reset my NinjaTrader again. All right, let's see. So let's see. Sam said he's 93 pips on gold holding with break even. Nice work, Sam. Let's check other assets real quick. So let's just take a look at NQ real quick. NQ is pretty much the same. The volatility is a lot lower than usual. Sam is trading gold. Yeah. I mean, the ATR is pretty low for gold too. I think it's just all around, everything's kind of slow today. Yeah, PC said PCs are superior to Macs. I know that for sure. And obviously PCs are superior to Macs, but I feel like PCs have so many more problems than Macs. I mean, everything I buy, like my iMac Pro is like what is like the highest iMac Pro you could buy, like when I first got it. So I've been using it for about like 6 to 8 years. I haven't had any issues with it. I've done all my streaming on it, done all my video editing, done literally everything on my Mac, and it's been perfect. With my PC though, I don't know if it's just this PC, but for this gaming laptop, I don't do anything on it aside from using NinjaTrader, and I have issues with it almost every week. It might just be the NinjaTrader platform. It might not be the laptop. So, I might be being too difficult on like, or being too hard on PC, but the NinjaTrader platform, maybe it's just the platform that sucks. But I get errors on it almost every day and it's super annoying. Disconnects, like critical errors with the actual application and stuff like that. Yeah, PC said make sure your laptop isn't always plugged in because that can corrupt the system and make it automatically update. Gotcha. I mean, that might be the thing. I never turn off my laptop, so that might be the problem too. This laptop's been on for a couple months now. I unplug it from the power source, but I never shut it down really. Thanks, Stern. Stern said that Trump is also talking right now. So looking at the ATR, guys, the ATR is still pretty low. It's currently at 19. I was expecting it to push up over 20 since Powell started speaking, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Connect.
Oh my God. Connection lost again on my Ninja. I don't know if you guys heard it in the background. Brock said me and Brock is more of a Mac fanatic. If Sierra charts were available for Mac, I'd get rid of Bootcamp. Yeah, I mean, eventually, probably not. I don't think I would ever use Bootcamp. Um, the problem with running Bootcamp on my Mac is that I'm doing so much stuff on it that I don't want to take up too many resources. Eventually, maybe yeah, like I'll have like a separate Mac, but because the thing is, on my Mac right now, I'm streaming Zoom. I'm also streaming on YouTube. I'm also running TradingView. I'm running all my other platforms, and there's just a lot of stuff going on my Mac. So I don't want to add another program bootcamp to and then have another virtual server running in the background um, at the same time. All right, guys, there's nothing much going on here. I know we're kind of off topic with talking about Macs and PCs, but there's really nothing going on here, guys. Just be patient with your entries. You can see our prices going back and forth. The ATR is actually not picking up at all. It's currently at 17. It actually went lower, so it was currently at 19, or it was 19 prior. It's now at 17. Powell hasn't necessarily, or he started speaking here, but he's not talking on I guess the bigger topics right now that are really important. We also have Trump speaking right now too. We've got two big speakers right now. We have Powell speaking about the economics. We have Trump speaking at NATO. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. So just be cautious with your guys' entries if you guys do decide to take anything. If I see anything good, I'll let you guys know. But right now, I truly do not see anything good. Um, yeah, so I don't really see anything good here. We have some consolidation going on right here down the middle now. Marked up liquidity right there, and it looks like we are just getting some sideways consolidation down the middle right here. All right. So we're just gonna sit tight, guys, wait for something here to happen. Yeah, Stern said I run both Mac and Windows. Mac never issues, Ninja sucks. Yeah, I think it's just the Ninja platform, guys. Honestly, I'm bashing PCs. There's nothing wrong with my PC. This is a pretty high-end gaming laptop, so I'm not expecting there to be any issues. That's the whole reason I got it. But it's just Ninja. It's just the Ninja platform in general. It's a broken platform that they should fix. And the thing is, like, they keep releasing updates and they all suck. Like, if you guys ever seen update from Ninja, I don't recommend updating it right away. Because the last time I updated it, it was super broken, and that's why I had to reinstall everything. All right, guys, nothing here so far. We currently have a sell signal that's currently pending. We had a buy signal come up here, no MPSV2. Even if we got an MPSV2, I wouldn't really recommend it. Um, Obvious reasons. So we have a pending sell signal right here. Price is pushing through. This could have been a liquidity push. So like I said earlier, guys, there's two different types of liquidities to look at, right? Look at them as a liquidity push or look at them as a liquidity sweep. Whenever there's like, whenever like there hasn't been really a push outside of an area or there's no confluences around that area, then it's likely going to be a push where price pushes past it. Whenever price is kind of overextended and it pushed out kind of far, then that could be a possible sweep. Right. So like you see these little weak levels around these areas, I would see these as liquidity pushes. So this would be a liquidity push, of course, maybe a quick 10-point push right there. But like for levels, like say for example, up here, we have a bunch of confluences, right? We got the key support right here or old support, now resistance. And then up here we have the value high, and then up here we have resistance, right? So if we were to get price to push up here, I would expect these to be sweep levels. Not pushes, but sweep levels. So just something to keep in mind, guys, when you guys are looking at liquidity. Right now, I'm mainly looking for sweeps because we're in a choppy market, right? Let me like remind you guys again, there's three different ways market moves. It either goes up like this in an uptrend, it goes down like this in a downtrend, or it goes sideways in a chop like this, right? What type of market are we currently in right now? Just like by eyeballing what's going on right here. We're in a choppy market, right? This is a choppy market. So what are you going to use in a choppy market? You're going to focus on liquidity sweeps, right? Because price is going back and forth. So you're going to take sweeps up here and sweeps down here. When price is trending upwards, what are you going to take here, right? Price is going up and PSV2 buys, right? When price is going down, what are you going to take here? And PSV2 sells. What can you also take in these areas? Liquidity push entries, right? Because the thing is, if price is pushing in the direction, you can take MPSV2 buys in that direction, MPSV2 sells in this direction. If you see liquidity kind of sitting in between, you can blast right through it and take those liquidity pushes. So right now, we're currently in this type of market. This is why I'm focusing on liquidity sweeps, because we're in a choppy market. We're in the summer. There's also news events going on. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market. So that's why I go for the sweeps. I know there's MPSV2s that are coming up, but I'm not really looking to take them because for one, there's no direction here, right? So if you just focus on what's going on right here, and I can draw a range zone here as well. All right, so let's draw the range from right here. And we'll just color this red because this is acting as a resistance. And then we have a range down here, and we'll color this green because this is acting as support, right? So with that said, you guys can see here that there's not really much going on. If I was to turn off all my tools here, you guys can see that we're currently in a ranging chop right here, right? Price is chopping back and forth, back and forth. So since price is chopping back and forth like this, what are you going to look for? You're going to look for sweeps because you can take sweeps from down here. If there's liquidity hanging out around there and confluences, or you can take sweeps from up here. So just be smart about your entries, guys. I try to make things as logical and as simple as possible. I know there's a lot of different ways to analyze the market, but you just don't want to overcomplicate things. I feel like that's the problem with most people who are trading, is that they just overcomplicate things way too much, and that's how they screw up with their trades, right? Because there's so much confusion, you don't know what to focus on. All right, so we don't really got much here yet, and we're just waiting for, some sort of confirmation, something here to really happen. All right, the ATR is back to 20. So we're picking up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit here. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for opportunities here for entry. But there's just nothing here right now at the moment. Let's see. Steven's asking Sean, do you think I should go to the Fed events and meet Powell? Yeah, definitely, Steven. You should go ask Powell which direction to trade in. He'll tell you exactly where gold should be. Since you're like you love trading gold, bro. So he'll let you know exactly where gold's going to be. Yeah, just pop up, tell them that K2 sent you. Let's see. All right, we got nothing here right now. Let's go back to, so Trump is actually still speaking. This guy's been speaking for a while. Trump's still speaking. We got Powell over here still speaking as well. Um, there's actually more people following Powell right now. There's way more viewers over here for Powell. But there's not really much going on here in the market. So if you look over here, we are currently at 18 ATR. So like I said earlier, pay attention to the ATR, guys, because if the ATR picks up, then we'll start to get some volatility and we'll start to get some direction. Right now, the volatility is kind of just staying flat. You can see our prices respecting these, here, and I'll just mark this up as a micro support level. This is the 1 minute support, and this is the micro resistance level here. All right, we don't got much going on here. We got micro resistance, micro support. Price is kind of just going back and forth from where it's currently sitting right now. We don't have any entries here. I don't see any MPSV2s. This is a possible MPSV2 here. If this candle here closes, this could be an MPSV2 to the downside. Only problem with this here, again, like I said earlier, is that I'm not really looking for MPSV2s at the moment. Possible sweep right here. Nice rejection off that liquidity. There's no confluences in this area though, so this could be a liquidity push instead of a sweep. Again, if you look lower, there's no support down here. Super far off. So as much as I would have wanted to take this as a sweep, it's just tricky because there's no actual support down here or structure. We're getting close to the value high though from yesterday. So see how price is pushing past it? We do have a possible confluence down here. It's a little farther off though. It's not exactly at this liquidity. All right, so we'll just keep watching from this area here. The ATR is like consistently sitting around like 1920. So I think this just might be the average norm for right now. I mean, it's a lot higher from what was happening earlier this morning. So it looks like the sweep here is starting to play out. Again, like I said, there isn't enough confluences there for me to want to take it, but looks like the sweep here is, or it has played out right there. pushed up to 20 points. All right. 20-point sweep right there. Just basing it off the ATR. All right, Powell's still speaking. Trump's still speaking. I'm surprised volatility hasn't picked up more. It usually does, but it just hasn't really picked up more since they both started speaking. All right. All right, we got price pushing back up right here. It's pulling back into the range. So earlier right here, I marked up the micro resistance, micro support. The only reason I call it micro is because this is on the 1 minute time frame. It's not really like a established support resistance on the higher time frames. It's just the range that I've identified here where price is currently sitting. So we got price over here swept from this liquidity, pulled right back into the range. Ideally, these are the type of entries I'd be looking for, but again, there just wasn't enough confluences around here for me to want to take it. Looks like it's going to push up to the full 30. Almost on its way there, even though the volatility is pretty low. So full TP for that right there, if anybody caught that. I only took one entry for the day, guys. So again, this is the only entry that I've taken so far. As much as I would have wanted to take this one right here, like I said, there's no confluences, so I wouldn't have taken it. If there was a support here, like an actual support, then I would have taken it, but the next support level is like way down here. That's why I have this marked up, but we're probably not going to reach this level of support today. And we got price back into this middle range that I have drawn up. See, Sam said, thinking of booking 80 pips in gold, can't wait. No patience left. Yeah, I mean, if you feel comfortable with your profits, I would just take it, Sam, because market's kind of slowed down a bit. But this was a pretty nice sweep right there for YM. If only like it was a clean sweep where like I could, really set it up nicely, but my liquidity was there. It just wasn't the type of sweep that I was looking for because of the volatility. So, like I said earlier, guys, if you look over here at my daily outlook, I was already neutral to bullish for the day. So, like, ideally, these are the trades I would look to take, mainly buys here, right? Um, yeah, that's a pretty good sweep right there. Let's see, Steven's asking, Sean, how is your hedge fund going so far? So the hedge fund's been on pause for like the past couple months until I get my Series 3. I can't take on any clients and I can't trade anyone's accounts until I have that Series 3. I've been in touch with the regulators though. They're working with me. They just need me to take the test and just be done with it. So once that's ready and good to go, I can start trading for people again. Right now, I can only trade for prop firms. Or I mean, technically, I can't even trade. So I could trade for prop firms, but I can't trade live accounts. Like right now, I have a live account with Perdia, but they put me back to simulated live because I can't trade live funds for people right now. Super annoying, but it is what it is. And I'm just like, I'm just not motivated to take the Series 3. I'll probably take it very soon though. I keep just putting it on the back burner because I'm comfortable where I'm at, but I should take it. The thing is like NinjaTrader and the regulators are never going to get off my back until I take the test. I'm getting close to my date though. Yeah, you missed a sweep over here, Steven. So you missed a sweep over here that happened around open time. All right, so we got nothing else right here right now. Price is still coming down a little bit lower. This level of liquidity is pretty much done with. Let me update the levels here. We got a new level right there. One right there. Let's see, PC's asking you to license to trade live with Perdia. I mean, technically you don't. So what I was doing before was I was trading a certain amount of funds. There's like a gray area where you could trade like a certain amount of funds and you could trade like very minimal. But for me personally, because I've been trading for a long time, the regulators and NinjaTrader, they saw me as a professional trader. They like labeled me a professional trader because I'm trading like all these different accounts, plus I'm trading my personal account, plus I've been trading for a while and I'm also live streaming my trades. So basically they kind of forced me to get the license because they said I can't keep putting myself out as like a retail trader. I'm like considered professional at this point. So it doesn't apply to everybody PC, but it applies to me, unfortunately. Like if I wasn't doing live streams and I wasn't like I've been training live for like 8 years now. So obviously at this point, in the eyes of the regulators, they see me as a professional trader. And they technically they just want me to pay more for everything, right? Like the data fees right now, I think everybody's paying like $4 or $7 a month. My data fees are going to go up and then I have to report everything like everything that I'm doing here that I'm trading like I show you guys my profits basically once I register as a professional trader I have to like provide this to the regulators every month and you guys can only imagine how annoying and how much work that is like my Discord over here like I'm posting my profits and stuff but now I have to like send in my statements like my trading statements and I have to provide reports for them and all that stuff so you don't technically need a license, but if you start to trade a lot of money or you trade for a lot of people, then they're going to force you to get a license, which is a Series 3 for futures. So, yeah, I mean, I tried for a long time to stay under the radar, but obviously I'm not under the radar anymore. So we got a sell signal right here, guys. Price is not really doing much. There's no MPSV2 here for a buy, guys. We had a buy signal, price pushed up, retraced. No confirmation of continuation right here. So no MPSV2 for a buy. Right now over here, we have a sell signal that's currently active and it's currently pushing down. We have a gas stock change right here, news. It's low impact, not really going to mark it up or just want to see how market reacted to it, but there's not really too much going on here. Sam is asking anything around 43,306. So let's see, 43,306. We do have the value high market profile. So this is the value high from yesterday. There's a level of bounce right there. So this was basically the resistance point from yesterday. It's now turned to support, I guess, because there was a break and retest here. So if you look at this level right here, Sam, price pretty much tested this area, created a resistance, then it broke above right here, retested, and it turned into support. So we do have the value high here from yesterday, basically right near where you just mentioned. My value high over here is at 43,305, possible bounce area. This is a possible sweep area right here too. It's just not close enough to this confluence down here. If it was a little bit lower, I would have taken it, but again, another possible sweep zone right here. So there's not really much going on here. I mean, there's a possible sweep right there at the liquidity guys, but like I said earlier, it's not in any I don't have any confluences around those areas. So I wouldn't really take any sweeps around here. I mean, there's a sweep running though. So the ATR is currently at 16. You might want to take this for 15 if possible. I mean, if you want to take it for 20, 20 is kind of pushing a little bit. I think 15 might be a better number just because the ATR is so low. Looks like the 15 here is going to get hit. Yep, 15 got hit right there. So there we go with another sweep. As much as I want to enter these sweeps, guys, like I said, it's just too tricky right now. My bias for today is a buy, like I said earlier, my neutral to bullish bias here for the day. So I would mainly only look for buys here for the most part. So sweep right there at that liquidity level. Price is still it's still hanging around this range down below. Let's see, Sam said 43,300. Yeah, that could be good. I mean, my value high right here is at 305, so it's pretty close to your 306. But yeah, if you want to wait for that psychological number, I mean that works too. Or if you guys want to get in at these sweeps, I mean that works too. 7:35 right now, guys, getting closer to 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. As much as I want to get into these entries, I also don't want to FOMO into these entries. They don't meet my criteria, so I need to have some sort of confluence around these areas for me to take them as sweeps. The liquidity here is starting to inch closer to my value high though, so possibly. All right, we got price dropping lower. We got price again at that lower end, which is another possible sweep level, but again, not exactly the sweep level I'd be looking for because There's no confluences. If you guys want to take it here, these are just, if you guys want to take these levels, you can take them at lower risk. So if you want to go again for 15 and then just take a lot lower risk per trade, I mean, these trades will probably hit for you. Like instead of taking full risk, for me, I'm not even taking full risk. I'm taking a third of a risk. If I drop down to a fourth of a risk, I'd probably take a lot of these trades here and just kind of pick up on them. So it looks like another sweep there, another for 15. The ATR is currently at 16 right here. Drop back down to, let's drop down to 15. So I'll just keep dropping this lower. If you guys want to keep jumping into these sweeps, I mean, feel free, but I personally wouldn't take them. There just isn't, I just wouldn't feel comfortable about getting into these positions here. At this point, I would consider this a little bit of some over trading because not every sweep is going to be a good sweep, right? So again, I'm just inching this lower. So what I'd like to see here now is I actually would like the price to push up further. And then if it comes back down, that's where I'll take my sweep because we're getting closer to the value high here now, right? So what I'd like to see here is price actually push up a little bit and then retrace back down, and then I'll get in for a sweep down here. Because at this point, price is really just kind of it's staircasing to the downside. If you guys are not familiar with staircasing, it's basically like really slow push down. Looks like a staircase, right? That's what I mean by staircasing. It's literally what's happening right here. Price goes down a little bit, goes sideways, goes down a little bit, sideways, goes down a little bit, sideways. It's not like a clean trend. It's more of like a staircase. Because there's two different ways of looking at it, right? A staircase is like this, and a downwards trend is like this, where there's actual volatility. When the market's flat, it's going to look like a staircase like that. And that's pretty much what's going on here. You just got to keep things simple. Don't give them weird names, right? I call it a staircase because it looks like a staircase. I don't call it like something crazy, like a downwards trendish, whatever. Every time I see these new terms online, I'm like, man, it's crazy. People just want to overcomplicate it. Um, when it's like easier to just keep things simple. Anyways, this sweep here is still technically running. I'm not in this position right here, but this was a sweep that happened from this liquidity over here. This one prior. I'm not in anything here right now. Just for the most part, just waiting. There you go, 15 points right there on that sweep. So like I said earlier, guys, you can take these entries if you want, but they're going to be risky because they're not really quality entries. Now I'm looking for price to kind of push up a little bit, and I'm gonna look for it to come back down and then sweep from that low because we're getting closer to the value high here now. So we're getting that push up that I was just talking about. If you want to take this as an MPSV2, you can look for possible MPSV2 opportunity here. We got a buy signal right here. Possibly another sweep right there. Yeah, Barack said like yesterday's compression upwards, and then it got spiky before pulling bulls in. Yeah, exactly. Let's see if Powell's still speaking. I'm surprised the ATR has not picked up. It's currently at 16 ATR right now. I think Powell's done talking about the important stuff. Yeah, he's done talking about the important stuff. I don't even know who this guy is, but I see him in all of Trump's pictures. This guy. I think that there's like a bunch of memes about him looking crazy in the pictures, like when the Iran bombings happened. I honestly don't know who this guy is either, but he's in all the pictures. All right, let's go back to Powell. Powell is still speaking. Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that like both Trump and Powell are speaking, but there hasn't been very much volatility here. Looks like another sweep right there off liquidity. I'd be a little careful taking sells though. So another sweep right there off liquidity. Like I said, I would base it off the ATR. ATR is currently at 15. Not in this position here, but following it. All right. We got price pushing up right now. Not in this position, guys. Just mark that up right there as a possible sweep. But this is pretty much doing what I was hoping for and what I was expecting. So like I said earlier, we had a sweep from here. You got price pushing up. If it comes back down, I'll be looking for the sweep from right here. It looks like something might have happened. I think Trump might have said something or Powell that's causing volatility to push up. Yeah, either Trump or Powell. They obviously said something because the volatility here is this is a huge candle compared to the others. It's not a huge candle, but it's big compared to the others. It's like 20 points, 20 to 30 points. Oh, thanks, Layla. So Layla said that Secretary of Defense Hegseth, the wife beater. Yeah, I did see some articles about him. That makes sense now. All right, so we got price pushing up right now. Possible sweep levels right here, guys. I mean, I'm not really looking to take sells here, but if you guys are looking to take sells, there could be a possible sweep right there. This is also an MPSV2 that's currently running. It's a little bit of a tricky MPSV2. Obviously, if you want to go based off the ATR, if you just want to go for 20, I think 20 would have gotten hit already right there. Yeah, obviously, you guys can see there's something happening here, right? Because it's pushing price up super heavily. Obviously, whatever Powell said or Trump said, it's pushing price up. A lot of this stuff is news driven right now because the technicals they're not really doing anything. So everything here is news driven, price is pushed up. There could be a possible sweep at these upper levels over here. The thing is, I'm not really looking for sells though. So, there could be a possible sweep there, but I'm not really looking for sells. So it's not really gonna be super beneficial for someone like myself. Yeah, Sam said I knew it. This 3 pips before my entry hack. This time I took it earlier. Nice. Solid work, Sam, on catching that plus the MPS V2. This MPS V2 actually would have been a really good one because we had the confluence over here with the sweep. So like I said before, guys, if you guys are looking to take MPS V2s, make sure that there's a sweep that has happened before it, right? So look for a sweep and then MPS V2. And then here, look for either another sweep or a continuation up higher. So you can look for either an A++ or you can look for a sweep somewhere around this area. A possible sweep could happen right here. That could be a possibility. But again, like I said earlier, I'm not really looking for sells here. So if you guys want to take this sweep, take it at your own risk. I'm not really looking to take sweeps here personally. There's going to be other levels of sweeps here that may come up. So there could be a possible sweep up here too. Let's see. Christian said what threw me off was the candle was too big and TP was at the sessions. Yeah. I mean it was tricky because there was red flags there and then the candle was pretty big. So obviously, yeah, a couple things there to take a look at and identify. I think there was a sweep here that happened too. So there's a possible sweep level from right here from this high. Again, I'm not really looking for sells here, so this wouldn't really matter to me, but that would be a possible sweep level, it looks like. I'm gonna do some stuff in the background real quick while we wait for anything else here to come up. All right, not really in anything here, guys. Like I said, I'm mainly looking for buys here. My bias for today was bullish, so there's a possible sweep that could have been right there, but I'm not really looking to take sweeps from there specifically. If you're looking to take a sweep, I'd look for a better area. So there's a possible area of sweep right here, which is going to be lined up with a couple different confluences. We have the micro resistance, we have the value low market profile, and then up here, these are going to be actually, better areas to look for sweeps, in my opinion, because we got the support levels here. There's just a lot more confluences up here. So I'll be watching for price to push up to this area here. I don't know if price will actually push up there. It looks like this big bullish push was based off whatever Trump or Powell said. And now it is starting to flatten out, of course. We got nothing else here right now, guys. Price is coming back down. Looks like that sweep is still running. So same sweep from earlier. Here, I'll just mark up a level here so I can see where that sweep was happening from. But yeah, the sweep pretty much happened from like right here, and it's still, or it looks like it just hit, or it's about to hit. 20 points. It's getting closer to 8 o'clock, guys, so the volatility is going to start to die out a little bit more. Again, my sweep levels would be somewhere up here. This is like more of I guess, a micro sweep because it's just in this chop right here. There's nothing to take right now, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm pretty much just sitting on my hands right now, kind of waiting for this to come back down. I don't think we're going to have enough time for it to come back down, though. My cutoff here is 8 o'clock. My sweep level that I was looking for was going to be down here, right? So if price did come back down to this lower level, this is kind of where I was looking to get into a sweep, but I don't think we have enough time. Either way, I took one trade for the day, trade one, so we're basically at break even for the week. Well, I'm at break even for the week. A lot of you guys here took more trades previous days. I couldn't take anything yesterday, but a lot of you guys did. So I'll wait for it again. My key area is going to be down here. If it doesn't come down here, no entry. If it doesn't come up here, no entry. Don't really want to take anything here down the middle. All right, looks like that sweep's finally going to hit. This thing took a long time to hit, but it looks like it's finally going to push down right there. Probably not going to reach my lower levels, but coming down nonetheless. Let's see, here is Steven's account. Nice, Steven. So Steven said, I'm getting FOMO. Here's my account shot. I need to keep 3,000 in my account. All profits are after able to receive. Nice. Yeah. So I mean, you're doing pretty good, pretty decent right now. You're currently at 1,000. So you basically need a couple more wins and you'll be back into that range there for 3,000. Gotcha. You have to keep it above 3,000. Yeah, I think it's doable. You just got to keep consistent, not take any dumb trades, right? You just got to stay consistent and, only take the trades that you really feel comfortable and confident about. So it looks like the sweep here is about to hit TP for 20 points. Full TP right there on that. Again, if you guys took any of these entries, pretty decent entries overall. The only good entry I would consider like good was my sweep right here that I took in the morning. Another one down here was pretty decent, but other than that, everything else has kind of been tricky. Like these sweeps over here, super tricky. They hit for lower than usual because the ATR is so low. Right now, the ATR is pretty low too. This would have pushed for 20, but the ATR is currently at 15, which is like, like I said earlier, guys, this is very unusual for the ATR to be this low during like two big press conferences, right? We've got Powell's testimony and then we have Trump at NATO. So we'll see. All right, guys, if there's any more questions, feel free to hop into the chat. We are getting close to 8 o'clock, so I'm about to be done pretty soon. Nice work, Lila. So here's Lila's profits for the day. Lila locked in at 960. So solid profit right there, Lila. Yeah, Lila locked in 960 for the day. Nice work. For my profits over here, guys, I haven't added them up and I haven't updated my trader sync yet, but I locked in about, let's see, 800, 900. I'll say about like maybe 3,000 for the day. Not a lot because, or maybe a little more, maybe about 5,000 for the day, adding these up right here. I had to take partials. Unfortunately, my first trade right there, it did only close out a couple of my accounts, and for whatever reason, it only gave me slightly partial on here. So these all should have been like 900 profit. So this should have been like closer to like 20 to 30,000, but it's okay. It was an opening trade and the volatility was just kind of unpredictable with the ATR so low. ATR was currently at like I think 10 or 11 in the morning, and this was a 30-point move, so it's all good. I'll take it. I made about 3,000 to 5,000 on those accounts there. Should have been closer to 20, 30,000, but it's, in a market like this, I'll take what I can get. So, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. These are the entries for today, so I'll take a screenshot. I'll just take this off and I will take a screenshot of the entries that came up today. If you guys want to go back and take a look. I know a lot of you guys like to review, so if you want to review, guys, feel free. So I'll just put this over here in the team chat. And those are pretty much the entries for today. So, all right, guys, it's about to be 8 o'clock in about a minute or so. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. You guys can see our price isn't really doing too much. It's kind of just sitting right here down the middle. The ATR is still at it's at 14 now, actually. It's dropped a little bit. So I would say if you guys don't need a trade, just stay out of the market. There's no need to force any trades today. Today is just one of those days where the volatility is very low and it stayed within this consolidation range pretty much all day today. Broke out of below it, faked out, pulled back in for the sweep. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little more volatile, and then we can catch a couple more sweeps to kind of like clean this up for the week. But if not, we're gonna keep to the game plan, guys. But pretty decent day so far, pretty decent week so far. Good trades overall. But again, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys here